So, I wanted to do a video on how copywriting has changed my life in the last 7 years. So, this video should be, or I wanted to make this video as a way to inspire and motivate people who are maybe on the fence about doing copywriting or starting copywriting, or even anybody who is looking to make an income on the internet, or is sick of their lifestyle right now, is not happy where they're currently at. So, I want to explain a little bit about my journey to becoming a copywriter, what it's actually like to be a copywriter, and maybe the future of copywriting as well. So if you are thinking of getting started, you can know with confidence base that you're getting into the right thing. So if I rewind the clocks as to how I first got into copywriting, right? And I didn't really find copywriting. Like a lot of people nowadays have heard of copywriting and then they start doing research on it and it's like more actively known. Whereas when I first got into copywriting 7 years ago, 8 years ago, was when I first read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek. So The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss is a book that I would highly recommend you read if you've not. It basically is a book about living as a new rich, right? So the new rich is someone who determines how wealthy they are by not just by money, but also by time as well. So it's all great having all this money, but if you've got no time to use it, then it's pointless. So they define it in the book as how much time and money have you got, right? And I feel the age we're all living in now gives everybody access to the tools for free to create lifestyles that go against the norm, because I don't know about you, but I literally could not recommend the traditional system more. I'm quite against it. For some people, I understand it might be the way to go, but going to school to then go to college, university, and then to get a job and then retire and use all this money that you've accumulated throughout your life is, to me, a bit of a fallacy. And it's a fallacy and a fraud that people believe this is the only way to live life, because it's really not. I think there's definitely a new wave of people coming through now and living different lifestyles and building in a way that really serves the person rather than being a cog in the machine, the system, which is really frustrating. So back when I was a personal trainer years ago, well, tell a lie, I went to college, decided I had no idea what I wanted to do. All I basically wanted to do was to find a way to fund my mountain biking. So whatever I could do, I would do. And I would do that work, earn money, and then go and spend it mountain biking. And I used to be a joiner, it's like a woodworker. And I did that for a few years, got my apprenticeship qualification, and I was told by my parents that was the best idea to have something, to have a qualification just in case things go bad. You've got something to go back to just in case. It's like a foundation. So I was kind of understood that. And worked on a building site for a couple of months, or maybe the best part of 6 months, maybe a year, maybe a bit longer than that actually. And absolutely hated it. Literally left as soon as I could, as soon as I got my apprenticeship, because I couldn't deal with the building site banter. It just literally wasn't for me. I hated the fact that people on a building site, where I was anyway, couldn't understand that I wanted to eat healthy and look after my body, and I was doing everything I could on this building site to be a better mountain biker. I didn't really care about joinery or woodwork or anything like that. So I left there, and they couldn't really understand why I left. They were literally what are you going to do? As in, what else can you do other than be a joiner? I'm like, well, there's probably plenty of other things I can do, and I'll figure it out. So then I decided to become a personal trainer because it kind of fitted with, where I was in life. I liked health and fitness, I liked training, so I was like, well, let's try and put all this together and work in a gym and help people achieve their goals. So I did that for 2 years, and also fell out of love with that. I hated working with other people. They'd very rarely listen to what I was telling them, and I ended up feeling just like a counsellor. They would come in, or a therapist, they would come in, just vent to me, and I accepted that. I had some really good times doing it, but again realised wasn't really for me. And throughout that time as a personal trainer, stumbled across copywriting as a way to attract clients into my personal training business. So I was in a mastermind group, and in there they had all sorts of training for fitness professionals and business owners about growing a fitness business and personal training. And in there was a training on copywriting, which I was like, what is this? I've never even heard of the word copywriting. I'm really inspired by why this is in a fitness mastermind. Watched it, and I had like these deer in headlights, kind of like this deer in headlight moment where you were like, holy shit, this is amazing. Why have I never heard of this before? And as soon as that video I watched, like I literally just devoured everything I could find on copywriting. On YouTube, books. I literally have stacks of books in a room next door of all the books I've read. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to read and handwrite out copywriting because that's what a lot of people taught me to do. You know, like I paid for a copywriting course called I think it was called the Copy Hour. So every day you would get an assignment by email, and essentially it would be just handwriting out successful sales pages and sales copy. And through that, you would psychologically learn copywriting. And that really did help me. But did that for 90 days, bought books, and then I started to really apply what I'd learned for copywriting to get personal training clients into my business. And then once I was just a bit over that, to be honest with you, I lost interest in personal training completely, and then decided, let's go all in on copywriting, because I know how lucrative it can be. It would fund my lifestyle. It would help me achieve this goal of being able to travel the world and do mountain biking, right? Because I used to love working from coffee shops. Like I love the social side of just going sitting and hearing the noises in the coffee shop and people buzzing around me. I loved it, still do. But every now and again, I like to come back and sit in my office. So, yeah, I went all in on copywriting, and through that time, I learned a lot. I worked in many different niches and for different audiences and niches, mainly stuck to health and fitness because that's kind of what I knew from my previous past experiences. But I worked in niches in copywriting that was in like the business space, also in terrorism space. So I worked with one client who was on Shark Tank, and he was I can't remember his name, but he's been on TV and all sorts, and he sold products and services on teaching you how to escape from being kidnapped and things. So I used to help him sell his products through email, which was very interesting. Never done anything like that. But it kind of just goes to show that once you understand copywriting, you can literally apply it to any niche, any market. Like it's the same. Marketing is marketing, sales is sales. It's the same. You just got to understand what you're selling and who the audience is, and then use your copywriting to bridge them together. It's really simple. And then from there, it mainly worked in the online education space. So people who had online courses, programs, were creators on YouTube. I primarily worked in that space because I just enjoyed it, felt like I knew the type of audience that people wanted to help. So it was quite easy for me, really. And I did that I still do a little bit of copywriting, not as much now. I'm more in like the mentoring space now and helping other people with getting started with copywriting. And my main client was, my main few clients were in the online education space. One of them was a Amazon coaching platform. And again, to learn that business better, I actually started a business following that company's training and started my own Amazon business. And I honestly, God, I wouldn't, if you're watching this now and thinking, oh, I might start Amazon FBA. If you're looking at starting to make an income online, this is like your first side hustle income thing, don't start an Amazon business because it's way more complex than you think. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot to do with logistics. And it's not for everyone. So don't think it's just a way to make passive income because that's just the most bullshit fallacy ever. Copywriting is one of the best things you can do if you're looking to make an income online. And more of like, have a life where you can do more of what you love, right? That's kind of the best way to describe it. Like I can literally pick up my laptop and go and work from wherever I want. That was the most appealing thing for me. So whether I was on a beach in Bali or, well, not a beach, like who the hell works on a laptop on a beach? Like you get sand everywhere and it's too hot and you can't see the screen because it's just glaring off the sun, like bullshit. But being able to work in an air-conditioned cafe in a country I would love to be in, that is exciting to me. And then being able to go and explore that country from the funds I've made from copywriting. That's kind of like, that was my goal years ago. Now it's a little bit different, but it still kind of stands in the fact that you are doing an income producing high value skill and delivering it on the internet, and you can access millions of people at scale. And the great thing about copywriting as well is literally like it will never be too saturated, or it's like copywriters are never not going to be like obsolete, unless it kind of brings me on to the future of copywriting with AI and things like that, because people are like, well, won't AI take copywriting jobs? Won't AI take over the world? AI will only overtake copywriters and take your job if you allow it, right? If that's how you think, then it will take your job and gobble you up. But as copywriters, if you are able to stay ahead of the curve and just stay up to date with things and utilize and use AI tools to improve and empower your copywriting, you will never go hungry, like ever. I can literally guarantee that. I don't like guaranteeing things, but that's one guarantee I can pretty much put my hand on my heart and say that will happen, or that will not happen. Either way. So yeah, if you are on the fence and feel like, well, I don't want to get started copywriting because of AI, then you're literally putting the brakes on your own progress, 100%. So yeah, this has been my journey so far. I wholeheartedly believe in copywriting as such a high value, high income producing skill. For anybody who enjoys writing, you have to enjoy writing, right? You can't just jump into copywriting and not like writing words. If you don't like that, then it might not be for you. But that's been my experience so far. You don't have to have experience, you don't have to go to university, have a degree. You just literally have to understand human psychology, understand a few key principles, and you are away. Like, it's not that complicated. I really don't think it is. I hope this is useful anyway. I love sharing inspiration and motivational things. I'll see you in the next video.